From 2006 to 2009, we got the Trailblazer SS, and it was absolutely amazing upon its arrival. And under the hood was the LS2 directly transplanted from their C6 Corvette. And you can also find this LS2 under the hood of the GTOs. Aside from the LS2, this thing came in two trims. It came in either a two-wheel drive version or a four-wheel drive version. But no matter which one you got, it still came with brake cooling ducts, stiffer suspension. It came with a 9.5 14-bolt rear end with Positrack. So yeah, the drivetrain was pretty much the same, except if you got the four-wheel drive version, it came with the Torsen T3 transfer case. And let's not forget the 4L75E, which is basically an upgraded 4L60 or 4L65E. They also dropped it low 1 inch. Now you gotta understand, before they had came out with this truck, it had been like just over 10 years, 10 plus years. And the last muscle truck before this was the Typhoon, which we all know cemented itself in muscle truck history. This truck had 390 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. Do you know how outrageous that was? It was literally making as much power as a Terminator Cobra. Making more power than the New Edge Mustang. It was making more power than GM's F-bodies. And the only reason it wasn't making 400 horsepower like its GTO or SSR or, Corvette C6 counterparts is literally because the exhaust was restrictive. And just like every other LS, you can get power out of this thing. It's fairly easy with this. This was literally nothing more than a burnout machine. Long tube headers. BTR Stage 3 cam kit. Now, with these cam kits, please make sure you have the right style. Like 32 to 3500 style. ID 1050 injectors. And a very good tune to tie these things together. But let's just say you want even more horsepower, right? You do have the option of a 408 stroker. Now, some guys take out the LS2 and go with a harder block like the LQ4 since it's an iron block. They just go back, do the 408 stroker, forged internals, and these guys are making 600 naturally aspirated horses. But let's just say you don't know how to build an engine or know where to get one built. So what is your other option? You can go with a crate engine. Now, these crate engines, like let's say Blueprint engines or ATK, this one in particular costs just over $10,000. And in some cases, you will spend that same amount trying to get one built. So, I mean, hey, why not get one that's already built? And the crazy part, this crate motor in particular has fully forged internals. So, hey, you throw boost at it and a good tune and you straight. Saab even rebadged the Trailblazer SS and called it the Saab 97X Aero. It's literally a rebadged Trailblazer SS. Just pop the hood and see. Now, after you've successfully defeated a Trackhawk, you have to deal with the final boss. These Cummins guys. You pop the hood, this man got a triple Hoochie Mama hair drive turbo setup with some Hank Hill ha-ha gas, propane injection. And then he got 7 pounds. That adds up to about a porn star's mouth worth of nitrous. These guys will be making so much damn torque. Like, you look at the horsepower and go, oh man, it's just making 1,200 horsepower casually. And then you go to the torque, this motherfucker making 2,500 ignorant foot-pounds of torque. You'll hear more turbo noises than engine noises. This is just how big the turbos be on these things. These things haul more ass than a train full of thick midgets. Come on, these guys' ass. I'm talking about the launch on these things. You just got to see it for yourself. It's mind-boggling. Remember, this is a four-wheel drive, diesel-powered, 10,000-pound truck. Whooping Lamborghinis and anything you line it up against. Like, this thing is literally Thanos on wheels. On today's episode of Who's on the Chopping Block, the big block Chevy guys, y'all should know I'm finna get on y'all ass. Now, you gotta understand, down south, like Tennessee, Mississippi especially, what else? Alabama, fucking just Louisiana. These guys love that Bobby Brown go-go gas, aka nitrous. They run enough nitrous to classify the engine as a small tactical nuclear missile. It's about take your wife to one of these car shows and let us see one of these blowers. Babe, what's that sticking out the hood? Your nipples when a room cold. Oh, but it don't stop there. You know why I love the Australians? Because they've normalized putting these big gargantuan alcohol, tall dinosaur shack-ass motors inside of things like, I don't know, motherfucking Corvette, Pontiac GTO, Pontiac G8, a goddamn Holden Commodore, a goddamn, man, like all type of shit. They normalize these things. They daily drive these fuckers. And you want to hear something that's crazy? The Australians are laughing at our takeovers. These guys are doing fiery burnouts. Meanwhile, in America, we're doing takeovers and crashing into sides of a building. They're looking at us like, ha ha, honey, look at those Americans. These guys are doing fiery burnouts with 15 to 2,000 horsepower vehicles. They're building drag cars just to slide around in. Just let that register in your mind for a second.